Nando, bájale, por favor.
Good day. Hi, my name is Mauricio González, and my presentation is story the computer. Buen moment. Wait moment. Buen moment, es que se me trabó mi compu. Okay, I'll start in the year 1937. Bill Lawrence St. George Stevens use relay for the mission other called the modern K other because hall or his kitchen table resolving construction of the relay base model complex calculator in 1939. Next presentation, the son in Germany, engineer Conrad Sot by his C2 computer using telephone company relays 1939. Okay, next station. Whole power is founded David Parker and Bill Howland founded company in Palo Alto, California garage. The first product, the HP 208 audio oscillator. Walt Disney's picture, Walt Disney Pictures ordered of the 200V model to test recording equipment and speaker system for the training special equipment treats that show the movie Fantasia. 1914. Next day, the complex number calculator, the CNC is complete and 1939 Bell Telephone Laboratories Complex, the calculator, the C by St. George Stevens and 1914 Stevens demonstrate the CNC and the American Mathematical Associate Conference held at Dartmouth College. In 1941, Conrad to finish the C3 computer, working in complete installation from developments as well use 300 relays, performance floating point binary arithmetic, and has 2022 by Gordon Len. The C3 was used for aerodynamic calculations. Bow was destroyed and bobbing rad on Berlin and late the 1943. Next, the first bombing and complex voice and electromechanic means of the crime Nazi enigma-based military communications durante World War II. The basic idea for bombers come from police code Baker Mary and Relics Quick and 1913H Bombard. In 1942, the Atanasov Berry computer ABC is complete. The machine was designed and built by Atanasov and graduate student Clifford Berry between 1939 and 1942. The ABC was the center of a patent dispute related to invasion of the computer, as concept was declared patent and use free open to all.
Necesito silencio.
943 Belay relate interpolator and complete the user money and be laboratories the designation use in testing is in night gun director and tie analog computer the Ainsler guns do their targets. Next presentation, um, 1944, first collection operational breaking park designed by British engineer Tommy Flowers. The Colossus is designed to break the complex Lorentz ciphers used by the Nazis during World War II. Infinite presentation. Thanks. Attention.
Okay, thanks, Mauricio. In the next partner is Yvonne.
Hello, my name is Monse, and I will talk to you from in 1951 to 1961.
Yvonne?
¿Me escuchan?
Yes.
In 1953, RAND Corporation completes UNIC computer. The UNIAC computer is one of 17 computers that followed the basic design of Princeton's Institute of Advanced Studies computer. It was named after John von Neumann, a world famous mathematician and computer pioneer of the day. In 1954, ABM 6 and the 15 magnetic drum calculator introducer IBM established the 6 and the 15 as its first mass producer computer, while the company selling 4 and the 15 in just 1 year, Spinning and 12 and the 5 RPM, the 6 and the 50 magnetic data stored room allowed much faster access to store information than other room-based machines. The model 6 and the 15 was also highly popular in universities where generation of students first learn programming. In 1955, English Electric UE introduces commercial versions of Alan Turing pilot ICA Kaylet the outset the digital electronic universal constant ENIAC is used mostly for science and engineering problems and a fifth commercial application over 13 were completed, including one delivered to Australia. In 1956, direct keyboard input computers and micro research being experimenting with direct keyboard input to computers, a precursor to today's normal mode of operations rows contained that flexible and electrically controlled tapware connect to and might computer code function as keyboard input device due to its low cost and flexibility. In 1957, Digital Equipment Corporation (DAC) founded. DAC is founded in Italy to make electronic models for this measurement, prototyping, and control markets. In 1958, RCA introduces its model 51 translator computer. Is built on building block concept which allows the building flexible for many different use and code simulation control of 63. They drive very useful for lakes database of information for meaningful science user check access to this huge store capacity of the signal is reliability, slow processing speed, customer included use military and oil industry. In 1915, 16, in 1916, NIAC was online an early translator computer. The NIAC, Nippon Electric Automatic Computer, included CPU, console, paper tape, radar and punch, printer and magnetic tape units. It was sold exclusively in Japan, but code processing, alphabetic and Japanese kana characters online. About 13 NIACs were sold in Manhattan, Japan. First online real-time system for Kinki Nippon Railways. In 1961, Minuteman I missile guidance computer developed. Minuteman missiles use translator computers to continuously calculate the position in flight. The computer has and fast while advanced circuit design and reliable Pagnaning able to withstand the force of the missile launch. The military's high standards for translators pushed factors to improve quality control. When the Minuteman I was decommissioned, some universities received this computer for use for students. In 1962, the Atlas computer debuts a joint project of England's Manchester University, Ferranti Computers and Pliss. Atlas was the fastest computer in the world at the time, introduced the concept of virtual memory that is using a disk or room as an extension of main memory. In 1916, CDC, Sextal and the Sex Under supercomputer introduces the control data comparison. CDC performs up to 3 million instructions per second, 3 times faster than of its closest competitor, the IBM supercomputer. The retained the disconnection of being the fastest computer in the world until surpassed its successor, the CDC, in 1968. In 1965, Overleaf program is released and announced the year previous at the New York World's Fair. The program was on sale. This brilliant programmable calculator was made from discrete transistor and acoustic. The line memory, the program called the addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, as well as accumulate square roots.
Okay, thanks, Monse. My name is Jose Guadalupe. $1,968. The 2116A is HP's first computer. It was developed as a versatile instrument control for HPS. growing family owns programmable tests and measurement products. The first live commercial computer, the UC Integrated Circuits, RCA, highlights the IC advancement over IBM installs the SLT model 1968, Apoyo Guidance Computer, AGC, makes its debut designating synthesis and engineers admit the instrumentations laboratory. The Apple Guidance Computer is the culmination of years of work to reduce the size of the Apollo describes the computer from the size of the seven refrigerators side by side to a compact unit weighing only 17 lbs. 1971. One of the early personal computers, the Canvas, is at the birth for 750 in specification American Mason. Hewlett Packard introduced the HP 35 initially designed for international use by HP employees. Co-founder Bill Caleb issues a challenge to the engineers in 1971. Feed all of the founders of the third desktop specific calculator into a byte small enough for this shared pocket. Um, 1973, IBM SCOM is developed under the direction of engineer Dr. Paul Freidler. The special computer LPL machine portal personal computer prototype is developed at IBM Los Gatos and Palo Alto, California laboratories. Criminally released. 1974. Excelby advertised its AH computer, the first commercially advanced US computer based on a microprocessor. The Excelbal has 4 KB of international memory and a cassette tape interface as well as telepathy and oscilloscope interface. 1975. Mid-Saltari 8800 kit appears in popular electronics for its January. Jisoo Hobbies the amazing the popular electronics runs a cover story of a new computer kit. The Altair 8800 BDM prototype boiled and finished. The next partner is Guadalupe.
Yes, of course. 1986. In 1976, created one supercomputer introduced, and the fastest machine of its time. Next, please. In 1977, 3 is 18 Apple II fins. Millions of Apple II were sold between 1977 and 1993, making in one of the longest living lanes of personal computer. Apple hip are 1,000 of Apple IIs to scorch, giving a new generation to free access to personal computers. Tiny Radio Shack introduced in 3 read is 18. Next, please. And in 1978, the DEX was introduced for 4 gigabytes of virtual memory, hundreds of times the capacity of much mini computer called a complex instructor 6 computer. Next, please. In 1918, Commodore introduces the Big 20. Commander ever used Star Trek television, Star William Strain, and the Western Times. Next, please. In 1981, the computer programmed debuts on the BBC. Next. In 1982, Commodore introduces the Commodore 64. Next, please. In 1988, Apple computer language the Macintosh. Next, please. In 1988, PC Limited is founded. In 1984, Michel Debs created PC Limited Will Start, a student of the University of Texas at Austin. Next, please. Compaq introduces the Desktop 386 system. Next, please. Finish.
Okay. The next is me, Cesar. This is my presentation. Okay. In the year 87, ARM released microprocessor is first used in the company Archimate computer system. ARM is the most important company to the manufacture the processors in the actually the processors used in the cell phones are used today. In year 89, Intel produces the microprocessor. Intel released the microprocessor and the coprocessor chip, to which contained more than 1 million of transistors. Is the most important event to the transistor is very more important to the processor, and this is the first time of use this type of transistors. Intel Pentium microprocessor is recent. The Pentium is the fifth generation of the 486 line of microprocessors from the Intel. The basis for the ambient PC and its clones. The Pentium introduced several advances that made program from faster, such as the ability to execute several instructions at the same time and the support for graphics and music. Today, the Pentium is the most important of the processors of the microprocessors of Intel used in basic computers today. In the year 98, the Apple launched the desktop computer. Apple makes a splash with its blue iMac, which sells for about $1,300. Consumers got a machine with 233 megahertz G3 processor, 4 gigs of RAM, hard drive, 32 megabytes of RAM, CD-ROM, and monitor of 50-inch. The year 2000, the most important event is the introduction to the camera in the cell phones. This is in Japan, and this is the important event for is the start where this type of the cameras in the cell phones. It's all.
Es que con la computadora. My name is Abigail, and his position is the next. One moment. And just 2002, and graded is years computer is a world's fastest supercomputer and has prior to is released in the years 2003. Is a great Power Mac G5 is released with a decent type and on-side aluminum case and highlight as they fit through 64 by personal computer. The Apple G5 is the most powerful Macintosh ever released to that point. And the year 2005 is a great Arduino. Arduino begins as a project of the Interaction Design Institute Ivrea in Italy. And the year 2005 is a great Lenovo acquires IBM's PC business. Lenovo, China's largest manufacturer of PCs, purchased IBM's personal computer business in 2005. NASA Ames Research Center supercomputer Columbia was used in space vehicle analysis, including studying the Columbia disaster, but also in astrophysics, weather, and ocean modeling. And the year 2006 is a Create One Laptop Per Child initiative begins at the 2006 World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. The United Nations Development Programme (UNDP) announces it will create a program to liberate technology and resources to targeted schools in the less developed countries. Okay, in the year 2007, the Amazon Keyline released the first Keyline feature where allows access to the account via Amazon.com along with an SD card slot allowing increased storage. And the Apple iPhone is released. Apple launches the iPhone, a combination of web browser, music player, and cell phone, which could download new functionality in the phone and the apps applications from the only Apple Store. In the year 2008 is the creation of the MacBook Air as a release. They incorporate many of the technologies that have been in association with Apple's MacBook line of laptops, including integrated camera and Wi-Fi and compatibilities. In the year 2009, it creates ABMS Roadrunner supercomputer is a complete. The Roadrunner is the first computer to reach ASUS 9 performance of 1 petaflop, 1,003 of floating point operation per second, and created how a supercomputer and was upgraded. Originally Cry HD3 system, the Huawei is a massive parallel supercomputer at Watt National Laboratory as U.S. Essence and Energy Research Facility. In the year 2010 is the great Apple Retina display. Since the release of the Macintosh in 1984, Apple has placed emphasis on high-resolution graphics and display technologies. In 2012, and great recognized Scientists supercomputers are operational with a peak speed of over a petaflop on 1,000 trillion calculations per second. The TN head in translation is Wilkie one is developed by by the Chinese National University of the Defense Technology, using its own process combined with AMD graphic processing units is GPUs. In the year 2012, IBM secured its delivered to Lawrence Livermore Labs, built by IBM using their Blue Gen Q supercomputing architecture. The secure system is the world's fastest supercomputer in 2012. Integrated Next Learning thermostat and introduced the Next Learning thermostat is an year product made for the emerging Internet of Things, which emphasizes a world in which common everyday websites have network connectivity and can access information or be controlled. And year 2012 is a created Raspberry Pi, a credit card size single board computer is released as a tool to promote distance education. And finally, in year 2015, and created Apple Watch. Building a computer into the watch for a factor has been attempted many times, but the release of the Apple Watch leads to a new level of excitement. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, thanks, Ariel. Uh, okay, thanks, Tim. And good teacher. Well, the last word presentation on history of on computing. Then thank for you attention. Goodbye.